Okay, he's not under the tutelage of his abusive, drunk mom. He's no longer in these prison facilities. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to get my life together and just do the normal thing. All right. He marries a woman named Rosalie at 20 years old. He has a child, Charles Manson Jr., which is a tough name. Apparently that guy's still out there. He's like still rolling around the world with that name.
He never thought to change it?
I mean, he probably thought it, you know?
Yeah.
But also, I wonder if there's a point where like, it's kind of interesting. Like, because everyone you meet is like, oh, this is Charles Manson's kid. And then they meet you and you're like, yeah, my name's Charles Manson Jr. Oh, wow, he died in 1993.
Apparently.
Wow. How did he die? He shot himself. Whoa. Along a section of the eastern Colorado state line.
It's a rough life.
Dang. I mean, like some of these like just generational curses are just like so sad.
Yeah.
You know, like you just live your life and your dad is just a psycho serial killer cult leader and then you have to deal with that, but he's doing it because his mom was a piece of, it's just like, whoa. So, spoiler alert. He has a kid though. And had a kid. Oh, yeah. I guess, well, yeah, dude, that's right. Because he died in like 2017.
Yeah.
Whoa. So that's basically the story. He just lives a normal life and just has a good time. Psych. He's stealing cars, doing a bunch of crime, you know, just being a psycho.
Who had the rougher life, Charles Manson or his son, would you say?
I would say I don't know. I don't know enough about his son's life. I don't know enough about Charles Manson's life, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm just reading about his mom being a piece of shit.
Right.
But I feel like his son is a tougher time because his dad is an actual serial killer psycho. Whereas his mom is obviously abusive and evil, but kind of, she's a victim of her own circumstances as well. Whereas like Charles Manson is like an actual deranged psychopath that is now also a dad.
Right.
Which is crazy. So yeah, that's basically his life at this point. He's got a kid, married, and then still committing crime. And then he gets jammed up again, back to prison. And the next 10 years of his life are basically just, you know, California, Washington, prison cells, prison cells, prison cells. And prison at this point is not even a punishment. He spent most of his life at this point in prison. You know, like he's just a prisoner. And then 1967, Charles Manson's 32. He spent 17 years, more than half of his life in prison. No family, no school, just a rap sheet with a bunch of, you know, crimes on it. Short guy, wiry. What was his final height? Was he 5'2"? Like by the time he like hit adulthood? And he's got this crazy spark that apparently is like very captivating to people. Wow, he topped out at 5'2". So yeah, he's a short dude that spent most of his life in prison with, you know, degenerate parents. And now his kid, maybe it's actually good that he was in prison while his kid was like, young. Because like, I feel like it's better if your dad is Charles Manson that he's in prison and not raising you. I don't know. And yeah, he's got apparently this intense kind of charm. This is how people have described it. He knows how to read a room, how to survive. 1967, he's paroled again, stepping into a world that's about to go nuts. The hippie explosion has begun. Drugs everywhere. He's got no cash. He's got no plan. But he's got the ability to survive and a psychotic brain that wants to just be in the mix. So this guy, at this point, 32 years of his life, he's a disaster. Ditched his mom, bounced around, locked up, violent, gets married, has a kid, goes to prison, and is there for an entire decade. And then this is where it gets interesting. This is the first chapter where things start to take off. He goes to San Francisco in 1967. The streets are packed with, you know, hippies, a bunch of people rejecting the war. Vietnam's doing its thing. And all these people are like, hey, let's just love each other. And Manson is right in the middle of the whole thing. So he's in San Francisco and now he's getting tangled up in the Hollywood web. That's all about fame, music, power. The air smells like bad weed and incense. There's a, you know, just a vibe of like freedom. Anything is possible. You can love whoever, you know. Drugs are flowing. LSD is on the streets. Big time. Weed is everywhere. People are smoking up a storm. And the city's alive with music, weird art. And into this chaos strolls a 32-year-old, freshly out of prison, Charles Manson. Looking like a scruffy little drifter, which just so happens to be the exact look that's popular at the time. You know, like if he got out of prison in like the 30s, they'd be like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? But he got out of prison at the time where looking like this is chill as hell. You know what I mean? Like he was like, you know, in the mix. He blended in perfectly. He's got a guitar on his shoulder and he's ready just to, you know, party it up, get to business. He's not just some square showing up in a suit. He's one of them, right? He's been locked up for a few years, so he's not clueless. He's got street smarts. He knows how to survive. He knows how to talk fast, how to charm, how to read people. And in this hippie paradise, he starts to preach. Not like some boring church guy. He's got this wild, crazy energy. He's spouting rants about love and the end of the world. He's on his guitar singing these little songs, and people actually stop and listen to him. And Manson doesn't just get like some, you know, he's not just some random street preacher for a long time. He starts pulling people in, especially young women. Yeah. And these are just young girls, runaways out in California, looking to make a new life for themselves. And, you know, maybe their parents kicked them out, or they're just sick of the, you know, this boring straight world and they want to go party and have a good time. And Manson sees him coming, and he's got this like creepy, manipulative ability to just prey on whatever it is that a person needs, whether it's love, a family, a purpose. He's able to manipulate and just turn himself into a chameleon for whatever it is that you're going through. So he meets you. He's telling you about the world, how things could be, how you are important, how you are special. And now he's building up this, basically like this connection, this network of people that are all seduced by his charm and his energy and his, you know, ability to make them feel good. Now, let's crank it up a little bit, right? Because this is where Hollywood comes into the mix. One day, Manson hitching a ride, right? Typical hippie shit. And he's got his thumb out on the highway, and guess who picks him up? Dennis Wilson. You ever heard of that name?
No.
Infamously, the drummer from the Beach Boys. A great band, for the record. I never really got into the Beach Boys. Like, I obviously knew like the classics, like "Wouldn't It Be Nice," like those songs.
Right.
And I heard some of them. I actually listened to Pet Sounds front to back recently. Unbelievable, amazing album. One of the best. My buddy David Sanchez put me onto them. And yeah, I'm a little late. I mean, probably 65, 70 years too late. But dude, they're good. They're very, very good. Bad at discerning though. They have an inability to understand if people are demented, psychotic, you know, killers. So this guy, Dennis Wilson, picks up Charles Manson. And, you know, Dennis at this point, he's a star. He's living in this beautiful house in the Pacific Palisades. He's partying with this cool crowd. And he digs Manson's vibe. He meets this guy and he's like, yo, this guy, Charles Manson, he's an interesting dude. Dennis hears him play the guitar, listens to some of his like freaky songs, and he's like, yo, this guy is wild. And so what does he do? He invites Manson and his whole ragtag crew of, you know, random women to crash his place. And Dennis isn't just being nice, all right? He's into this entire counterculture thing, right? He's into very much like the hippie freedom movement, you know, drugs, free love, weird music. And Charles Manson is him. He's all of those things at that time. Charles Manson is doing drugs. He's into the weird love. Like he's completely like epitomizes the time. So as a result, him and Dennis Wilson become buddies. They hit it off. And Manson's strumming tunes, dropping his wild rants, and Dennis is just kind of, you know, on drugs, just nodding off like, yeah, this guy gets it. The Beach Boys even recorded one of Manson's songs, Cease to Exist, though they tweak it into, quote, never learn not to love, and they slap their name on it. Crazy. Manson's pissed about that. He wants the credit, but for a minute, he's in the game. So the Beach Boys are literally biting Manson's tracks. I mean, Manson has music out there. You ever heard it?
Yeah, we've played some.
Oh, yeah. Who did we play it?
Joey Avery.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah. Shocking. Or maybe it was with Christoph and Luke.
Oh, it was.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Unfortunately, kind of a hit. This is where it gets even weirder, all right? Dennis Wilson introduces Manson to Terry Melcher, this like hotshot music producer guy who's a big deal. Terry, he's the son of Doris Day, if you ever heard of that name, the super famous actress from a bunch of old movies. I don't know anything about her. I've heard the name Doris Day before. But this guy, Terry, he's got connections all over Hollywood. He's produced hits for the Byrds, works with a bunch of big names. He's got a house on, straight out of like just like a Hollywood magazine, like a huge mansion. So Dennis brings Manson to Terry saying, yo, check this guy out. Terry's curious, meets Manson, hears his music, sees this weird little like following of people around him, And he's not like yes, but he's also not no. He's kind of just like, all right, this is interesting. And Manson is on 10. He's like absolutely stoked. He's like, yo, this is my moment. This is my shot at fame. Suddenly, Manson's not just a San Francisco oddball. He's brushing elbows with, top tier Hollywood elite. Like, I mean, if you're tight with the Beach Boys, like that's, as far as being in America, like it's like the Beatles, the Beach Boys, like it's like you've arrived. He's chilling at Dennis Wilson's place, partying with like the who's who of Hollywood. And the crew is growing because you can imagine this guy who's like crazy, charming, psycho, but also connected to really powerful people. Women are going to be down for that. Susan Atkins, Lynette Squeaky Fromm, Patricia Krenwinkel. They're all in deep, calling him Charlie, like he's their savior. They're living in this weird bubble, crashing at Dennis's mansion, eating his food, driving his cars. Dennis spends a fortune. Some estimate even $100,000 just keeping them around, buying drugs, and fixing the chaos that they leave behind. But Manson's not just chasing fame. He wants power. These girls are following him, all right? But they're not just fans. They are hooked. He is their drug. He's using everything he's got, sex, drugs, these rants to like twist their minds. He's manipulating them. He'll sit them down and look into their eyes and like spin these stories about how society's crumbling and everything's falling apart. But you know who has the answers? Charlie. He's dosing them with LSD, getting them high, breaking them down until they're basically doing everything that he says. He's basically mind controlling them with LSD. Sound familiar? We'll get to that in a second.